So we have the pay grade 2 employees over here. We have filtered them out. Then the question paper goes on to say, insert a column at the end of the spreadsheet and enter a formula to calculate the number of hours overtime worked as a percentage of the number of contracted monthly hours. Okay, so what they basically mean is you're supposed to put a column over here showing the percentage of hours that they have worked overtime in comparison to the hours that they are supposed to be working for a month. So for example, this particular employee has worked extra 14 hours. Okay, this one has worked 10 hours, for example. So what we'll be doing here is we'll be putting a heading as percentage of overtime hours worked. Okay, do not forget to wrap this text so it will be completely visible. It's way too big. Let's make it something like this. And then let's just double click on this. Okay, so now what we're going to do is equal. This is the number of hours that they have worked overtime. Okay, divided by the number of hours that they are supposed to be working per month, multiplied by 100%. Okay, so it says 0.0875. It's supposed to be a percentage value, so let us click on percentage value. So it shows us 9% extra they have worked. Okay, so let's replicate this formula for the others as well, and it shows how many hours as a percentage extra that they have worked. Okay, so then the question paper goes on to say, save the spreadsheet as task B2. So let's do that over here. File, save as, browse. We save it as task B2. Say save. And then it goes on to say you're supposed to make one printout showing the functions and the formula and one printout showing the values. Okay. So in this particular scenario, they have not told whether it should fit one A4 paper or not. So what I'm going to just show you is I'm just going to show you how to make it entirely fit one A4 paper. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this go back into show formulas, and then I'm just going to click on this and double click on the columns, make them really small, and then columns like this, we're going to go back and make it some more small. Okay, is in the column we can okay, also this particular column, pressing the control key. I'm going to come home and click on format, and I'm going to say column width. I'm going to make it size 6. Okay, that's done. And then what I'm just going to do is I'm going to select my data from here to here. Control P. Now they haven't said it should fit one A4 paper or not, so you're free to print however you wish. But if they do say it has to fit only one A4 paper, you always do have this option at the bottom which you can click and say fit sheet on one page. So now you look, the entire page is fitting one A4 paper. Okay, so once again I remind you, they haven't told it should fit one A4 paper, they have just simply said print it. Okay, but if they ever do say it should fit one A4 paper, always remember you have this particular option which you can use. Okay, so then moving on to the next question, it goes on to say open a new document using word processing. You open a new word processing document, enter these details and save your document as task B3. So just come over here, new Word document. Let's give it the name task B3. Let's open it and immediately head for the footer. So let's go right to the bottom to the footer and type task B3, your name, candidate number, center number. That's done as well. And then the question paper goes on to say, create a suitable chart based on the data from task B2 about the employees on pay grade 2, showing the percentage of hours overtime worked. Okay, so let's get that done. So basically we are supposed to show how many hours that they have as a percentage that they have overworked. I mean percentage of overtime hours. So I'm going to go back into the normal data view. Right now we're in formula view. I'm going to go back to normal view, click on this, and then just double click for all of them to expand. So I want to display the job title and I want to display the percentage of overtime hours worked. So what I'm going to do is select this column, and I want to select this column all the way over at the end. So I'm going to press the control key and select this column. And then I'm going to be coming into insert, and you can either go for recommended chart, let the computer decide what's the best chart for you, or else you can decide it. The best is always let the computer decide it for you, so you can always select the best. So you come and click on recommended chart. Which one looks the most fit for purpose? This one looks quite fine to me. Okay, and I'm going to click OK. Do not forget, the question paper goes on to say it should have suitable title and values. It should be fit for purpose as well. So let's make the heading more meaningful. For employees of pay grade 2, and let's make this entire heading bold and underlined. But do not forget to keep your axis values as well. You have the plus symbol over here. Click on axis title. Okay, so this will be job title, and over here we have what we say, percentage of overtime hours worked. Okay, so that's our chart over here. Let's make it bigger so we can see. Also, if you like, you can also go for data labels, so you can see the exact value of each column. Okay, and then the question paper goes on to say, save the spreadsheet as chart. So we are supposed to be saving this as chart. File, save as, browse. Supposed to be saving this as a chart. Okay, that is done too. And then the question paper goes on to say, paste the chart into document task B3. Make sure that the chart is easy to read. So I'm just going to be copying it. Copy, come over here, right click and say paste. Okay, so we have our chart pasted over here. Then it goes on to say, use the payments worksheet from task B2 to display only the data for the job title, pay grade and net pay. Okay, so payments worksheet from task B2. So we're supposed to be closing this right now, and we are going to be opening task B2 from our folder over here, task B2. And in task B2, we are supposed to be showing only 3 columns, which is job title, pay grade and net pay. So we need to be showing the job title, pay grade, and the net pay is supposed to be shown. So all these columns are going to be hidden. So I just selected all of them, right click and simply click on the button hide. Okay, so you can see all these columns get hidden. This too has to be hidden, right click and say hide. Okay, so now we have only these 3 columns visible as the paper said so. And we're supposed to save this as task B3B. So we come over here, file, save as, browse, task B3B. Click on save. And then it also goes on to say, take a screenshot of the spreadsheet and paste the screenshot in task B3. So you can either use the snipping tool or you can take print screen and come into task B3. Your cursor is over here, press enter, bring it down, Control V. Okay, so you have a picture of your entire spreadsheet over here. Then it goes on to say, answer these questions, explain why it is useful to have linked worksheets in a spreadsheet. So we do have a linked worksheet. We have the payment worksheet, which is connected to the details worksheet. So they're asking us, why is it useful? So our answer could very simply be, let us number the question first. Task B3C, and the first question. It is useful to have linked worksheets so that data from different worksheets could be used for calculating purposes where if one value is updated, it would automatically update all the connected values. Okay, so basically what we mean is, if a value in the details worksheet is changed or updated, automatically all the values in the payment worksheet would also be updated. We do not need to go manually to each cell and change it. Okay, since they are connected, if a change is made over in the details worksheet, automatically the payment worksheet values will also automatically change according to what whatever change we made in the details worksheet. That's what I have mentioned over here. Then the next question goes on to ask, explain why absolute cell referencing is used in spreadsheets. So all of you all know what absolute cell referencing is. Okay, where we lock a particular cell so that when we replicate it, the cell address does not change. So we can go on to say absolute cell referencing is used so that the cell address of a particular cell does not change when the formula is replicated. Okay, so when you replicate the formula, that particular cell address will remain locked. So that is the reason we use absolute cell referencing. So that's the end of the SAM2 Excel paper.